just gonna be a little bit of a tutorial on how to do a paper crane. A lot of times, paper cranes have some complicated stuff, but I just wanna see about how, you know, there is a way to do it with little or no resources, including just a sheet of like paper. And forgive my ugly, like non-manicured perfect hands or whatever. But what I wanna do is start us, what we're gonna do is we have to start with a square. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a fold and we're gonna make a square. So the way we do this with a rectangular sheet of paper is we go ahead and we fold it, and we wanna make sure our edges are really, really, really sharp. So you see what I'm doing here is kind of like there's gonna be a triangle, and then we don't even need scissors for this. We've got like a triangle from a sheet of loose leaf paper. And you see, I just folded it. I'm gonna do it again, just to, because I have to like teach kindergartners how to do this and they get it, but a lot of it is just explaining the folds. And a lot of times it's a little tricky because there's a lot of steps. And so my students all have, this is like one of the things that I try to get them to master. And it deals with geometry and stuff. So we're gonna fold it. So this is a loose leaf piece, just a plain sheet of paper. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold it across. And you want to get your seams nice and tight, okay? So we're gonna have like, so we wanna make sure we take our time, use your finger and your fingernail if you have any, to burnish the edge and make it nice and clean. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it, and what we're doing is we're turning a rectangular like piece of paper into a square. So I'm going ahead and folding it this way. And we're also not working with scissors, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and a lot of times you just kind of have to eyeball it and continue to sort of like, you know, get that fold kind of nice up. And what works too is to fold it backwards. Sorry, forgot that shortcut. So we're gonna fold this backwards too, and then you got a nice crisp line. And what we're gonna do is use our fingernails, again, to like throw it back, and then you're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this fold because we're gonna tear this back and forth. Sorry, I'm not on the line. We're gonna tear this back and forth. And you can even, if you want to, you know, the main thing is you wanna have your edges really solid and crisp and square. Now, what I do, this is kind of gross, but not really. Sometimes I just kind of take a little bit of spit and moisten, and I hate the word moist, but moisten the edge. And what I do is I kind of tear down, like I do this, and sort of do like a little bit of a rip. This is called also a deckled edge if you want to get fancy about it. Great. So now what happens when we open this is we've got essentially a square, right? Which is cool. And you've already got a line that's established across here. So now what we're gonna do, a lot of making paper cranes and anything origami is just making sure your edges line up, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold, we've got this line already, and then I'm gonna fold this line this way over here. I'm gonna line it up on this stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and same thing, create a line this way. I'm bumping the camera stuck here. So you see I'm folding it in half this way. So we already had that line that we created when we were doing our square and creating a square, and now we've got this square, okay, or triangle, I'm sorry. But we've got these lines that are equilateral both ways, this way, across, and then this. So now what we can do, we've got this centered, and we're gonna go ahead and what my next step when I teach my kids is, so you've done a mama triangle, and now you're gonna do what's called a baby diamond. Okay, so we're gonna fold this way. And we're gonna try to get the lines folded as close as we can to those guidelines. Those nice folds that we did before are gonna actually make it seem like these are gonna be like our ruler lines, even though mine aren't 100% on point here. I'm working with like a little deckled edge, you know. And then we're gonna do this one. And we're going from mama triangle to baby diamond. All right, so right now this is what we're working with. And you can, you know, no matter what, and again, I'm just using a piece of notebook paper just to show you. And when you start really mastering this, that's when you want to start getting like the fancy paper involved. But for now, this is where we are. And now we're going to do a fold that is kind of one of the tricky steps of making a paper crane. And this is called a reverse mountain fold. Okay, so it sounds completely goofy, but what we're gonna do, and I just want you to watch before you do anything else, is we're gonna take this side, and I'm not even perfect, but I mean, this is what I'm saying, just do your best. We're gonna take this, we're gonna open this up this way, and what we're doing is we're gonna bring this fold right here to meet this fold. So what you want to do, it seems, you know, easy, but it kind of takes a bit of work. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the baby diamond, and you're going to kind of use your fingers, and you kind of have to be really, you know, kind of gentle, but sort of get it to kind of go in and be like, okay, thank you, Mr. Paper Guy. We're going to go ahead and move in, and we're going to fold it this way. So that's called a reverse mountain fold. All right. So we're going from here, from mama diamond to inverted mountain fold, okay? So now we're gonna do this. We're gonna go in and we're gonna fold it over. And most of everything with origami is what you do to one side, you're gonna do to the other. And again, my lines aren't 100% perfect, but we're also working from a rectangle to a square. So now we're gonna do it on the other side. So we're gonna do mama diamond to inverse mountain fold this way, okay? So now I'm gonna open this up, and I'm going to take this line of the fold and I'm going to have it match that seam in here, okay? So we're going to do this way. And again, you kind of have to coax it a little bit. That's my vocabulary word of the day, is you kind of have to coax the paper to do what you want, okay? And again, anytime you're working with this, you want your seams to be nice and crisp, okay? So now we've got, you can see we've got like our, you know, it's a piece of loose leaf. We're gonna flip it over because what we want is we wanna have this point right here, the closed point, is gonna be the back of the paper crane, okay? So what we're gonna do with this, you always wanna have it closed up here. So I always say this is like where you do like a pyramid. So if you think about a pyramid is gonna have a point that's completely closed and then 4 sides, right? Like we learned that in geometry, we learned that in math. So that's what we wanna do. If you do it this way and it's open, you don't have any structure for the actual crane to hold itself together. So don't do it this way. Always have this part pointing upward, okay? Now what we're gonna do is, I like to do, we've got our piece, loose leaf, and we're gonna do what I call baby kite. And when I say baby kite, is what we're doing is we're taking this piece of paper and we're gonna make a baby kite. So I'm gonna fold it in at a 90-degree angle right here, okay? So we're gonna fold this in right on the line. I'm trying to be as careful as I can. And again, this is my first time kind of trying to do this with a camera and on my messy table and everything. But, so you're gonna get, and you wanna keep those clean, burnished edges, okay? So we've got like, so this is one side of the baby kite. And remember, a paper crane is 3-dimensional. So what we're doing is we're essentially creating a sculpture out of a flat piece of paper. So what we do on this side, we're gonna be symmetrical, and we're gonna do it on this side as well. And we're gonna line up our stuff as best we can. And again, nobody's gonna get it perfect the first time, and you guys just have to be gentle with yourselves and understand you're gonna probably mess this up. It took me forever to learn how to do this, and it's not easy because it's just kind of a weird process. And even see what I did, I messed up right there, but it's okay. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get it as best as we can do right now. All right, So see this? So now it's kind of looking like half a snow cone, half a square, whatever. Now we're gonna go ahead, turn it over, and same thing. We're gonna go ahead and line these lines up right here, this way. And I'm not even working on like this is just a mat for measuring. I'm not trying to have it perfect because nobody's gonna get it perfect the first time. So what you gotta understand is don't worry about perfection. And if you mess up, you just have to keep practicing. So now I'm gonna do, okay, so baby kite on this side. Again, this is a 3-dimensional sculpture that we're working on out of one single sheet of paper that we just literally figured out how to tear because we're not using a lot of tools, okay? So now we're gonna do this. And again, don't worry about your lines not being 100% perfect. You're not gonna get it right the first time with like perfection and everything being completely seamless. But right now, so you see what I've done is I've done baby kite, okay? And then what I like to do is I go ahead and I fold. This is now what I call snowball. So it's like a snowball, like if you had a basically geometric design for a snowball stand here in New Orleans and you were trying to be graphic design about it, you'd have, it's a triangle with this blob on top. So now what I'm gonna do, this is kind of a crucial and fun step. That's the easiest step, is you're gonna fold this guy down, back and forth. And I always do this, and it doesn't have to be perfect again. Like, I'm gonna fold it back and forth. And then when I do, use my fingernails to kind of burnish it back and forth. And I go 1, you know, I'm sorry, 1, 2. And I usually do this like, I make my kids sometimes do it like 15 times, where you're creating like a nice seam to fold stuff. We're just gonna do 7. So I think we're on like 5 right now. 6, 7, and there's a method to my madness right now, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna give a couple extra. So the reason we're doing this is to go ahead and figure out, because now we have another kind of second tricky step of this right now is gonna be, we're gonna make a boat. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold on to the top of this and you're gonna gently, because there's the 2 sides of this, you're gonna open up like this, the baby kite. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and open, and you're gonna kind of, this is where the word I was telling you before, we're coaxing this. Open, and we've got these lovely fold lines here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a baby bird mouth turning into a boat. So you see how this is open? It's kind of flopping around, but you got the guidelines. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and fold this in, and you're just gentle about it, and you gotta kind of like, you can't roughhouse the paper, and you kind of have to be like, hey, thank you, Mr. Paper, let's help me out here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. What you're trying to do is just to fold stuff, you know, that's, and again, don't worry about not having it 100%. It doesn't matter. Like this, don't worry about it. You're just getting the fundamentals of just kind of like, so now you got like this kind of like little canoe, like the diamond canoe right now, okay? And then we're gonna open the other side, and that's why I'm having you guys fold this so many times, so that the paper is malleable and you can coax it, okay? So when it's malleable, it means it's flexible, even though it's like a stiff kind of structure. So we're gonna go ahead, when we do to one side, we're keeping it symmetrical and doing to the other. So now we're gonna open this up, and we're gonna do this one, this way. And again, try to keep your seams nice. Again, you're not gonna get it perfect the first time. I've been doing this for years and still don't get it perfect. Don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. It's more the steps. And then when you start becoming a like master crane folder, then you can like impress your friends and everything. All right, this part's kind of the weird step. What we're gonna do is what I call, the next step is called baby, I know it sounds goofy, but baby wolf, okay? So what I do is I turn this way, and I turn this way, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and establish So you see how it looks like ears and like the face of like a wolf or a coyote or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of like, and then what we're going to do is a step called skinny wolf. Okay, and we're really close and we're getting there and we're almost there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold a skinny kite, skinny wolf this way in like this. Okay, and essentially you got to remember the steps are, remember this is the closed part of the pyramid up top. Okay, and what this is creating is the neck, and these are the wings of the crane. Okay, so we're gonna do this over here and just line it up. Do your best to get it nice and crisp and lined up. And again, you have to kind of go ahead and work with the paper. Thank you, Mr. Looseleaf, for helping me today. Turn this over. What you do to one side, you're gonna do to the other. And you're lining it up with those lines right here, okay? And so you see like what we're doing? And then we're gonna do it over here. So it's like the skinny wolf turns into an even skinnier wolf, okay? So you got it? And again, kind of burnish with your fingernails and turn it over and it looks like, what is this? All right, so now watch. What you're gonna do when you get it this way, you're gonna fold this way and you're gonna fold this way. And then kind of burnish again and fold it like this. And this is kind of the fun part. You're gonna go ahead and go back. You're gonna open this and you're gonna fold it up, okay? So you're folding it up on this side and you're gonna fold it up on this side, all right? And then here's the funny, weird step too, is now you're gonna kind of go ahead and go, okay, where do I go from here? But what we gotta do is figure out, oh, kind of looks like just points. We're gonna close one side, close the other side. We're gonna fold this down. We're gonna fold this down, and you see my wings for my crane. Okay, and remember what I told you about like not worrying about getting everything perfect? Now what we're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna take this little part of this spire, because I kind of messed up and it wasn't perfect. I'm gonna turn this into my crane's head, okay? So I'm gonna fold it down and I'm gonna smush it a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of like pop it up. So you see where I am? On both sides, you see how it looks like a flat crane? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my wings and I'm gonna pull. And you got a paper crane, okay? I hope that helps you guys. And again, I wanna try to do more stuff for y'all and just like little mini tutorials and everything that can hopefully help. Again, this is my first go round, but I hope this helps you. And then again, if you wanna start trying, once you get things mastered, you know, you can do fun with construction paper. I showed you how to like tear down a piece of rectangular paper like this, and remember, fold it down into a square. If you don't have access to like really nice paper, you don't even have to use scissors. It's just kind of following these steps. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay, and more on this later. Take care.